if you ask the average agency person what their goal is, it's to win a lion at Cannes, right? And if you ask the average client person what their goal is to send their kids to college.
Right.
And that's a different goal. Like, I want to be famous in my craft, and I want people to be recognized by my peers, and I want to do this noteworthy advertising that makes people take notice. And the other guy wants to keep his head low and keep his job and keep his 401k and, put his kids through college. And so those goals a lot of times don't align, which is why when you have a figure like a Fernando Machado, that people gravitate toward him. Everybody wants to work on the Burger King. Everybody's got ideas for Burger King, which kind of takes me back to that meeting. So we're sitting in the, it's me, Ivan, and Pablo from the agency, and we're sitting with my contact, my Belen guy, and Fernando Machado, the most sought after CMO in America. And we're presenting, and the whole time we're presenting, I think we're bombing, because he's just sitting there poker-faced, impassive the whole time. And at the end, when we're done, he's like, "You done?" And we're like, "Yeah." I thought he was just going to get up and leave. And he cracks a big smile and says, you guys did the typical agency presentation. You presented the easy to approve idea first. Then you presented the idea you really wanted to sell second. And the third one was a shoot for the moon idea. Literally, in this case, I think the third idea was we were going to use a SpaceX rocket to cook a Whopper.
Oh, that's cool. I'm game for that. Do you need someone to flip the burger? Because I'm down.
He's like, you guys literally chose the shoot for the moon idea third, which is never going to happen in a million. But he gave us some good feedback. He said, "Look, I'm not going to buy the first idea because of X, Y, and Z reasons. I'm not going to buy the third idea because of X, Y, and Z. But the second idea, it's out there. It's in the ether. People talk about bringing the Whopper and McDonald's fries together. And Burger King also has had a long history of trolling McDonald's in their advertising, which is another reason I knew that this idea kind of had some legs to it, was that they would buy it because McDonald's doesn't even acknowledge the competition. I worked on that brand for 5 years. They don't want you to believe that any competition exists. They won't acknowledge it. But Burger King has done a good job strategically trolling McDonald's over the years.
They're much more fun of a brand.
Exactly.
The gentleman dressed as a king, running around doing his thing is quite entertaining.
In fact, one of the things that I admire about Machado was there was a period of time in Burger King advertising in the 2000s where they were doing a lot of good stuff. And they had actually a local agency from Miami called Crispin Porter and Bogusky that later moved to Boulder, Colorado. But it was a local agency from Miami that was working on the Burger King business, and they did a lot of award-winning stuff with Burger King. And when Machado came in after a gap of about 4 or 5 years from that period of time, he sought to recapture some of that magic and even brought back the king that had initially been, that king character was actually created by Crispin Porter and Bogusky. And so I admire a CMO that's willing to go back to things that worked. Because right. I think our business is one where there's always we got to change. And sometimes things that work, Burger King has owned Have It Your Way forever. And they've gone away from it a million times and they always go back to it. Why? Because that's what people know you for. And it's not a bad thing to know you for, right? It meant in the beginning that you could get it, hold the pickles, etc. But now it means about a lifestyle, have it your way, have it the way you want it, which is kind of what people want. So, and which what kind of made this forbidden combo idea, it was the ultimate have it your way. It's having it your way is the Burger King Whopper with the McDonald's fries. So that's one of the things I admire is when a marketer's willing to go back to the history books and say, this worked, why don't we go back and try that again?
Well, I think there's a lot of importance to appreciating the things that back in the day worked, and then just putting a small spin on them, or just showing them love and then just changing them just enough to make them modern. I mean, food is a lot like that. So
our industry is horrible in that sense. We have the shortest memories. We're always reinventing the wheel. And I think that, again, that's one of the things that kind of separated Burger King during that period that Machado, he's not there anymore. He's actually at Activision Blizzard now. He's in the video game industry. Really? But I think that's one of the things that set Burger King apart was a willingness to do new and exciting things, but also embracing certain things from the past and the history of the brand.